Today, our final 4 teams becomes a top 3. One team will move on to the grand final, and one will have their dreams of lifting a trophy fade away. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 7 of Masters Madrid, coming at you live from the Madrid Arena. I'm Golden Boy, and I missed your face, and I'm glad that we're back here again to share these amazing moments together. Of course, we have Mimi.
He thinks he's Mr. Rogers.
Oh, I mean, look. Someone's got to do it.
You do have the red jacket.
Spread some positivity out there in the world.
I think you should sing a song for the next intro.
Well, if I must, I will. But
Maybe
I won't
not.
right now.
I've changed my mind.
I like it. Don't be rude. I like it. I think you're a great
Chrissy
singer.
told me I could be a singer.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
I believe her.
She knows about music
She
more than we do.
actually does.
Musicologist, famously.
Yeah, that's a class. Okay,
It is,
interesting.
yeah. I took
All
it,
right.
actually.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about what we saw yesterday, because we had some kickoff clashes. You see, we did some rematches because we're gluttons for punishment. We had HyperX versus Gen.G.
Speak for yourself.
To start things off. And, well, I mean, speaking of gluttons for punishment, HyperX was certainly feeling the blunt of that one because Gen.G were on fire, Mimi.
You know it's a bad day when HyperX is the team getting knifed for them, right? But Gen.G came out here, they played excellently. They utterly rolled over HyperX. Then we got into the second game, which was an absolute banger. Honestly, either of these teams could have won. It came down to like some 1 second off diffuses going one way or another on Sunset for SEN to close out.
Yeah, exactly. Adaptation on top of adaptation, and I feel like it set the bar for what we expect for the rest of the tournament, right?
Yeah.
Especially coming into today, knowing that one of the teams is going to be sent home.
Yeah, it's, you know, look, it's a sad thing. Obviously, it goes without saying, but I think we're in for a treat here today. Coming up, we got 2 fantastic matches that are going to be kicking things off here with the upper final. It's going to be Gen.G taking on the Sentinels, and the winner will move on straight to Sunday's grand final. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. And then, of course, we got lower bracket action. We're going to check out a clash between HyperX and Loud, which that's going to be another fun one. Very explosive, but of course, the loser is going to be going home.
Yeah, 1 new match, 1 rematch. Both of these, I think, are bound to be bangers. Already seeing a team go home will be ridiculous, though. Also, getting our first squad in the finals is going to mean so much for whoever can win today.
But especially for Gen.G, if they manage to make it into a first international event and then having a run and literally not lose a match before making it to finals, I think that it sets the bar for the rest of the year very high for them.
Yeah. Also, how freaking awesome would it be? Gen.G shows up, first tournament of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say anything, or else Achilles is
Don't
going to
jinx
kill me. So we're just going to leave it as it is. But you know where I was going with it. Ooh. The lights turned on over here. All right, that's pretty dope.
I like the purple. Can we have it back?
Let's just go ahead and take a quick pause for the cause here. Let you know that you can scan a little QR code that's going to pop up on your screen. Trust me, I know you have your phone in your hand right now, buddy. So just go ahead, scan the thing. Participate in our Mastercard fan poll. We want to know which team is going to be the first one to make it to the grand final. Is it going to be Gen.G or will it be Sentinel? So, AKA, who gonna win? Make sure you let us know and get vocal about it. Also, you can use those hashtags VALORANT Masters, or VCT, so we can feature your stuff on the broadcast. I don't want to get into predictions here, guys, but
I don't want to jinx anything.
I don't want to get into it.
You don't want to get into it?
I'm not
want to get into it?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
No.
Nope.
These are the analysts, by the way. All right, well, earlier, I sat down with the Sentinels Brain Trust, Coach Kaplan and John QT, for a quick game to test their mind, their skill, their hand-eye coordination. It was amazing. It was incredible.
It was Jenga.
No, we can't say
It was
that.
just Jenga.
Just throw it to
You're
the video.
hyping it up too much.
Just throw it to the video. Can't use that word.
The J word.
Good evening, or good afternoon, or good morning. Honestly, I have no idea when this is going to air. But hello, everyone. We're actually going to do some really fun stuff here. I got Coach Kaplan. I have John Quite Talented, a.k.a. John Cutie. And we're going to play some indiscriminate wood block topple game. Yeah, because, you know, can't really say that one out loud. Good news is, though, each time you guys pull a block, there's going to be a question on it. And you guys are going to ask each other the question. And you may be wondering to yourself, why are you here, Alex? Well, I don't know. Good news is, I'm still getting paid either way. So let's do this bad boy. All right. Oh, almost broke it. Who wants to go first? You want rock, paper, scissors?
He can go first.
Coach, okay, he defers to us elders. I like that. He's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Any block, huh?
Any block. And it's not like official rules, so you can tap around, you know? We got to fill this time somehow.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we get here.
All right. What would you want to do if you weren't in esports?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I mean, I was studying engineering before I left school for esports. I mean, it wasn't the most enjoyable experience, though.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe something in sports.
Something in sports.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you? What have you
Probably go for therapy.
Okay, yeah.
Nice
I mean, I
private
still probably
practice.
would be employed at GameStop, so I think it all worked out.
I meant become a therapist, but I would also
Oh, okay,
need
never mind.
therapy if I would, both.
I misheard that,
Both.
and it was even better.
No, I would need the therapy no matter what.
Okay, that's fair.
After esports.
A bit too real.
Yeah.
All right, your turn. Let's see what you got. Now, John, you said you're not
Yeah.
the best at this,
Yeah, I'm not.
but I believe in you.
I don't have much practice. I might be just the ethical player and just pick the one on top.
No, you can't do good. Just go around
Use
here.
your
What if I do
engineering
what about
abilities.
this?
Yeah, use your engineering skills. Oh, that's a toughie. But you're doing it, baby.
Am I?
I think. I mean, at this point, you got to commit. There you go.
Oh, damn. Alright, shower in the morning or shower at night?
In the morning, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wakes you right up.
Okay.
And then at night, why bother? I'm just gonna have to shower in the morning anyway. The hair's gonna be a mess.
I actually agree with that. I agree with that quite
Yeah,
a bit.
you deal with that a lot, obviously.
Yeah, because I lose, the hair just falls off in the evening too, right? It just keeps going. So, ideally, just wait for the morning, wipe it all off. What about you? Morning? Evening?
Yeah, morning for sure.
Okay, I
Yeah.
respect that. All right, let's go. Let's go, Cap. What we got? Oh, going for the middle. A bold man. Is that a tough one? Or is that,
I think he has a strat.
Yeah, it's
like
it's
a
strat.
What is the best map in the game?
Damn, that's a tough question. I always get this question. I can never get an answer for it. But if I had to choose, I'll say split.
Oh,
For no
that's pretty
particular reason.
good. No particular reason. Yeah, don't look too much into it. Okay, split. All right, yeah. Okay. All right, let's John. Let's see. Let's get another one. I want you to try and go for a really tough one.
Actually,
I want to see if you can make him topple.
what's a tough one though? That's the issue. I can't tell.
Oh, this one, right. Try any of this row here.
Okay. I heard the middle one is the play these days.
Yeah, that one actually is. Oh.
It's not loose though. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Oh.
Nice.
Ah.
I got the touch.
It's got the touch.
If you could, well, I think this question is just wrong.
Let me
I think
see.
if you could take an agent's
Powers.
there's a word.
Oh, okay. If you could take an agent's
Yeah.
powers, whose would it be?
That is a tough one. Yoru would probably be useful. Place the TPs, be efficient, no LA traffic.
Oh, actually, yes, base. Okay.
Finish work, drop a TP off.
Okay.
Well, I guess you'd still have to drive. Anyway.
Yeah. Let's do one more.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, you should go for this one. I want to see.
Right
I
here?
want to see you just
Oh
send
man.
it. Oh, it's close. It's in there.
Oh.
The man's. I mean, magic
A
hands.
professional.
Kaplan, magic hands, Kaplan.
Who on your team could you beat in a 1v1?
Now, are we talking about
What kind of
in game or a
1v1?
fist fight?
Both.
Oh, I think fist fight would be everyone but Jordan. Zelsis. he has that dog in him.
He does. Does.
Dangerous.
Okay.
In game, I'm a pretty confident guy.
Okay.
I'll take anyone, honestly.
Oof.
I'll take anyone.
That's what I like to hear.
What about you?
I think I could take Tyson, and I think Zach. I got a couple months left. He's been hitting the gym.
Yeah, no, you got to get him
I
right
think I
now.
could, yeah.
Attack while you have the opportunity. I totally agree with that. I'm going to try just one here real fast. See, I believe in the strategy of going for the really. Let's see.
So aggressive. He's so
Yeah, you see, look
I'm
at this.
getting
Look at this.
anxiety.
Look at this angle. Whoa! What are the chances of that happening? And this one says, buy the SEN bundle. Oh, man. What are the chances of that one? Guys, I want to thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. This was super fun. Best of luck in the tournament. Have all the fun out here in Madrid, and I'll catch you guys later, all right?
All right.
Catch
Very
you soon.
much.
Having us. Bye.
Gotta say, it was a fun time playing indiscriminate topple block game with my friends.
That we would never say the name of.
We will
that has
never.
no name. It's a game we invented for the show.
Ever in a million years. Isn't that right, Mimi?
Yeah.
Anyway, now let's go ahead and jump into our first match of the day. No more funnies for now. It's going to be Pacific #1 seed Gen.G facing off against the America's numero uno seed of Sentinels. And this is going to be a big match. And there are a lot of implications here because the winner will get a massive advantage. You get to just go to the finals on Sunday. You also get 2 map bans. That's massive, Kukuka, as we've seen in the past.
A couple of bans, knowing how big the map pools are for some of the teams and how strong they are in other ones. Plus, getting that extra rest that they haven't been getting throughout the tournament. We've heard some complaints. I think it's going to be massive.
Yeah, I mean, you see this tweet from Kaplan. He's obviously very fired up to get that day off.
But yeah,
after how hard they've been working, after how many kind of matches in a row. But this is
they don't care about them bans.
It's the same for Gen.G, right? Like, those guys have also had a long run to get here. So that day off, that double ban, I mean, it's kind of the make or break in a grand finals. It's such a huge advantage. So both these teams are going to be putting everything out there today.
And also for the mental and the expectations of people, for you to come up out as the seed #1, but also having a clean, you know, some maps here and there, but a clean run overall to make it to the finals, of course, is a statement on it.
Yeah, for sure. And what I think is really fascinating too is both of these teams have, you know, similar-ish journeys, you know, obviously putting that work in, but really I think what's really standing out for me is just the fundamentals of these both teams. Phenomenal.
Yeah, their fundamentals, I think they clearly have the 2 best in the tournament right now. The way that these teams coordinate, the way in the late round, you'll see them kind of take that pause to set up a double swing, set up a play together is excellent. But they also both have this similarity in that they're not just wildly structured teams, right? You see both of these teams having players that will be given the freedom to take over the map. Be it Karon, be it TenZ, they'll take the risks when they need to. And I think that's the style that has won both of these squads all of the close games that they've been playing. Being able to play structured against the looser teams and being able to take risks when you need to.
But that's the flexibility, right? That's what you need to make it further into the tournament.
Yeah.
We know that Sentinels has been able to take down EMEA, but it hasn't been since 2021 that they won against a Pacific team, right, in VCT.
Wow.
Thanks to the offseason, they were able to play against TRX and HyperX, but here, in the bigger stage, in VCT, it's been 3 years since they take up an opponent with, you know, I think it's also different because this is not the Pacific team that we're used to getting, so very high stakes for today.
Yeah, and I think that the difference between them, while they have the similarities in really good structure and really good synergy between the players, they play very different compositions.
Totally.
They have very different ideas. Gen.G plays a lot of like old Valorant. They're still rocking with the double duelist on split. They still play a very Pacific style, even if it is more well structured than maybe their friends over at HyperX. Whereas Sentinels has implemented a lot of new stuff. They're running Gecko KO. They're running a lot of crazy different
Part of that
calls.
is the changes, right? And who they bring into the roster. They got guys like John QT that really are, I think, like really shaping the identity, Kukuka, of this team.
Yeah, exactly. When we talk about the flexibility, the fundamentals, and how everything is working in that fluidity, we have to talk about John QT. And it's not only the individual plays that definitely are there, and we see in every single match, is the fact that he is able to translate everything that happens in scrims. You know how we always say, oh, if the teams play that, they play it on scrims, they played it on stage, it will be crazy. But you can see it in the vibes and how everybody is responding, even to the rounds that they lose. I feel like this Sentinel squad is going to be on top.
Simply put, they don't win against Loud if they don't have John QT winning as many clutches as he did. He won a ridiculous amount of late rounds for this squad, and that's even discounting the calling he came up with too. And I mean, what's ludicrous about this guy is it's his first global event that he's ever attended. Last year, he was 2 maps away from making it to the Ascension Finals, and now he's a game away from making it to the finals of a Masters stage. In his first year as a Tier 1 player, John QT has immediately proved his worth.
We cannot take him as a rookie because, of course, as you're saying, that experience is definitely there. But if we go back to the match that he has played in VCT, this is his 11th. This guy is just starting. If you're like what you're seeing, this is the early steps. This is how it all begins for John QT.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, guys. There is so much really to break down, so much to discuss. Thankfully, though, we're not the only ones here. We got Mika Fabs, who actually had an opportunity to catch up with Sentinel's very own duelist, the one and only Zek. And you see him on screen. Mika, what you got?
Hey, Zekin. How are you feeling about today?
Feeling good.
Yeah, feeling good. Well, you're one of the superstars of this tournament. Everybody's saying that, and you're shaking your head, but it's true. Everybody's calling you one of the best duelists of the event, if not the best duelist. How do you feel now going up against Texture and potentially Meteor for this match?
Texture and Meteor are definitely very strong duelists, and it's going to be fun to go up against them, but I'm also really confident in my play right now, and I think it's going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah, I think so too, so excited to see it. All right, good luck.
And, you know, look, Zekin is going to have a tall task ahead of him today. I mean, this kid's had so many challenges laid out in front of him, Kukuka, but today, my guy's running up against Texture, and this is going to be a fun one to watch unfold.
Hear me out. Out of the 4 teams that we have standing still in the tournament, Zekken is top on ACS, ADR, and first kill per round. Like the impact that he gets, and this is also having some maps where he's not the star, okay? Because we're talking about Sentinels and going up against Texture, another one of the duelists that we have seen hop off in this competition. I think it's going to be very complicated to keep the pace on the 2 of them.
But the difference between them, despite both being young stars showing up to the global stage and going absolutely insane, is the agents they're playing. Zekken has been the best Raze player of the event, while Texture has clearly been the best Jet player
what
of
would
the
you say
event.
defines them in different styles and quality?
I mean, I think a lot of that comes down to what agents they play, right? Zekken does so much around his nades, his boombots, how he's implementing stuff with his team, how he's comboing utility. You see how much of a role he has with his util in the post plants. Whereas Texture, I think, plays a lot more of a traditional dive duelist role, right? Where he's always first in, he's always hard entering, he's playing Jet. Zekken is I think, more of a team player, but that's not a slight at Texture, because the way he plays has clearly worked incredibly well too.
Yeah, exactly. To me, the definition of Gen.G is the quiet kind of effort. It's literally like a motivational quote of work in silence. You will see the results and everybody else would see.
That is perfect, actually.
Yeah.
Right? Because they've made it here. Who would have thought that Gen.G was one step away from making the finals in the fashion that they did it? And it's what you're saying, Mimi. It's on the fundamentals and probably the way that they play the game in a very structured way and how we would see it a couple of years ago, but they managed to evolve it into countering what we see today.
I think the difference as well is that Sentinels is a lot more flashy with their utility. They're playing these comps with a lot of combos, with a lot of new Valorant that really gets your brain excited. You want to open up Valoplant when you watch them play. Whereas I think that Gen.G, it really reminds me of kind of what Korea's always been in this game. Incredible implementation of not the craziest ideas, but just executing on it incredibly well.
Yeah, and I think also, too, it speaks volumes to the fact that, you got rookies on each side of the field, right? But you also have some veterans. You have some big matchups that are happening here. Like, for example, I think a really good one to highlight here would be Karen versus Tens, which I think was very fun because you got yourself, hey, look at that. It's almost like we planned it. What I love about this particular matchup is you got a rookie and Karen coming into this one, really shocking us all and impressing us all, Kukuka. But then you have Tens reinventing himself in a way that has made him not just a team player, but an impact player as well.
Yeah, I think that this head-to-head is brilliant to look at because of what you're saying, the individual performance. I think that Karen has been the key to a lot of their success, especially when we talk about the comparison and how they implement the duelist and everything. I think that he's deadly. No matter what side he's playing, he has a lot of impact, and he will find any possible hole in the other team's structure to get a first kill, to just put himself in a situation of empowerment.
And on the other side, Tens for me is the most fun player to watch right now.
Yeah.
When he plays Omen like nobody else.
I want to be
like
the best Roman like him when I grow up.
Yeah, he's a terrible influence on any Omen player in your rankings because he's teleporting forward. He's in these double dive rounds with Zekken. In the late rounds, he's repositioning in clutches. It's so ingrained in his mind how he wants to use his utility. It just looks seamless when you watch him play.
Times they are changing. The fact that we're probably talking about the 2 most impactful smokers, and it's Karen and Tens. Especially if we take less out of the question, if we think of him more as a Sentinel, playing on the Viper. But yeah, even when Tens is not playing on that Omen, the way that, for example, yesterday he was playing on the KO and playing with a lot of the utility of the opponent to his own benefit is what's going to set the difference today between Sentinels and Gen.G.
We're really seeing these playmakers have such a profound role in these lineups here. Thankfully, we got some opportunities to speak with some of the members over at Gen.G. We had Karen actually standing by with Mika Fabs.
Hey Karen, 안녕하세요. Of course, it's a very important match for you, and you are just about months into your professional Valorant career. So where do you get the confidence to go up against superstars like Tens on the other side?
Buy the Gen.G bundle.
I totally understand that. That makes sense, yeah.
I've had enough of bundles. I've had enough.
You're bundled out?
I'm all bundled out. I have no more bun left to bundle.
You have no more bun to dull.
Yeah.
There you go.
I would have liked it better if you would have said, buy the Gen.G bundle, the better bundle,
You know what, though, guys? I can't get this feeling that we have to find ways to agree or disagree? Whoa, looks like we got a game. That's right, folks. It's time to play. Agree to disagree. It's actually
What a
the
segue.
name of the game. I mean, look, I'm
Can you
trying
explain
over
what
here.
the segment is about?
All right, guys. So here's the
wonder.
thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna read some spicy statements.
And I
okay?
wonder what we're going to do with those statements.
And then what we're gonna do, mira, ay, Dios mío, ay, okay, there we go. We got signs. All right, we got signs handcrafted that we flew all the
Yes,
way
wait
from
to the airport.
Americas.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so
Famous location, Americas.
yeah, famous one only location, only one. All right, let's go ahead and check out our first one, and it's all relating to the games today. So, Loud is going to make a lower bracket run. Agree or disagree? Chat, make sure you play with us as well. We want to hear from you. Strongly agree and
Strongly
agree.
agree.
I want to know
Yeah.
what the agree
GB,
is
I want you to
about.
hold up your sign, too.
Well,
Hear me out.
America's biased
yours
stats.
are-
Isn't that just sad to see?
I look. I mean, come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You explain first, Ben.
Yeah, exactly. Because you two very strongly
Very
agree.
biased.
I can
You
understand. I can
impartial.
understand one. I can say one. But HyperX is the kind of team that might come up with a surprise. We all know that. We've been there. Do not forget. You know, history is set to repeat itself.
Fair.
And I feel like Loud
Fair.
definitely has a way to get back into the match. But based off on yesterday, HyperX might be in that downside, but we
Yeah.
know that they won't go down just because they've been kicked a little. So I agree. I just don't strongly agree.
I rate Loud and Gen.G at about the same level right now, and I don't think HyperX is there in their current form.
Okay.
I think the match is going to be a very close. I would kind of put it up to almost a coin flip, but I lean towards Loud's experience here, which is
Yeah.
why I believe that they're going to be the ones to come
I'll
out
tell
that
you
lower
what, though.
bracket.
I wouldn't know what to do with my hands, my body, or nothing if HyperX walks out with
I mean, but the thing is, it's HyperX.
It's possible.
It's
That's the thing.
HyperX.
That's why I didn't strongly
It's-
agree.
And
it's
if the
possible.
script is real, they have to get second place again. So.
Oh, the script. Oh, Brendan's Eye Show. All right, well, let's go ahead and check out our second one. It's
Okay.
going to be Forsaken will break the record for most aces globally today. He's 2 aces away from doing that. Do we think he's going to do it? Agreed. Okay, come on.
As someone who just loves good Valorant, I really hate to see aces because it really shows that the gameplay is degraded.
Okay.
No.
Oh. and you disagree?
Oh, Mimi, you know what? Live your truth. I
I'm living
strongly
it. I'm living
disagree.
it.
I think that the level for both of these teams is too high for that to happen. Somebody, and just based on those fundamentals,
Yeah.
just based on
She's
those
spitting.
fundamentals, he will be traded off sooner than he gets the ace.
Also,
Yeah.
if he gets greedy for it, they'll throw another like 5v4
Just
started
saying, guys.
around.
Just saying, it could happen. Pistol
It could
rounds.
happen if
Yeah.
someone
Go
was
round.
going to
That's
do
why
it.
Mimi went on the.
I'm just saying, my guy pops
That's
off.
why I was on both sides.
Yeah.
Hey, right, look at you. Okay, now this next one is going to be a fun one, all right? Gen.G have a good chance to win their first major title at this event. How do we feel?
But, Loud,
I mean-
Sentinels, Gen.G, I think they're all in such similar form. I think it's so close. I favor Sentinels, but I think it's very possible for Gen.G to win today.
I struggle with this statement because I would rate it mild, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that
Sure.
any result for Gen.G after making it to here is already good enough. And even if they don't get the
But
title
what
of
sign
winners,
do you have?
No, come on.
Boo.
They-
Agree.
I know, I mean, I yelled at her for that, so to be
I
fair.
already got yelled at. It's time to
No, it's time for me
trickle
to
it
yell
down.
at you.
Yeah.
Okay. Trickle down yelling. Okay.
It works famously.
I
have a
am
good chance, yeah.
going to go with disagree,
Okay.
unfortunately. I do think that the reason why I'm not saying strongly disagree is only because there's always that possibility in my mind, especially with how they've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like Sentinels is really just feeling
I'm
it right
kind of
now.
a
It's scary.
turncoat here.
You're a turncoat.
I think the map pool works well for Sentinels today, especially they're almost
Yeah.
guaranteed to get to
Yeah.
play Split or Sunset. I think both those maps are going to be a gimme for them, and I really see it being highly likely for them to pick up another in the pool. And then I think
I agree with that one.
the team who wins this match today, is so likely to win the grand finals because
Yeah.
we already discussed
Totally.
Yeah.
double ban, extra prep time. That is so important. I think it's unlikely, but it's nowhere near impossible, especially if they win today.
All right, so we have time for a fourth one.
Okay.
This one would have been on the chopping
Little
block.
treat.
Nice.
But I'm curious, so let's see what we end up getting, all right? The finals will be a regional rematch. Whoa! I mean, but which way? I mean, I think I know the way,
Which
but...
way do you
No.
think,
You
Steve?
said regional rematch. You didn't say what way. So strongly agree. Either one or
It's
the
wait,
other.
it's a 50% chance.
That's what I said.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
50% chance
Yeah.
they're right or wrong.
Oh, boy.
Wait, is
No,
that how
but-
percentages work? Chat, is this
Yes.
true?
That's exactly how it works. I know a lot about numbers. I strongly agree. I think that especially Sentinels, after the pressure that they were put on yesterday, having such a strong start, making it into 2 overtimes and being able
Here's
to...
your American visa. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. This is my green card?
Yeah. It's your green sign. I don't know if that's how that works.
Give it to
I
me,
know
Alex.
this is all over the place because they said that they were going to go on a run, but
Me, when I contradict myself, honestly, based. It's so close.
if there's one thing hosts are great at, it's contradicting ourselves on a regular
that's
basis. So the reason why is because I would like to see a non-regional matchup. This is more what I want versus what I think will happen.
But hear me out. We're getting, right now, today, we're getting Seed 1 versus Seed 1 and Seed 2 versus Seed 2. Is
Correct.
that not good enough?
It is.
Nothing's ever good enough for him.
You know, I'm just... You guys are going to break me. This is too much for me to handle. Okay, folks, we asked you earlier in the day, well, just like a couple minutes ago, Mastercard fan poll, and the question was, who do you think's going to be going to the grand
Sentinels
finals?
will never lose a fan poll.
Yeah, I feel like, you know...
Did you hear that? That's people cheering for Sentinels winning
Yeah,
the fan poll.
I'll take the 71 though. That's pretty strong. But I do think though, if we kind of remove the funnies from it for a second, it does make a lot of sense, right? I mean, Kukuka, what we've been seeing from this Sentinels team has been so impressive. The way that they've been able to put this lineup together and really not just find an identity, but find camaraderie, I think has just been so awesome to watch.
I strongly agree.
I also strongly agree.
With what you're saying, completely based, Alex. But hear me out. I think that for today, I'm going to double down on Gen.G is doing a quiet round. They're literally the motivational quote. They want to keep the expectations. As I said, any further that they can take it is already a huge win for them. But I want to see them take it further.
All right, well, let's go ahead and find out where we're going to be playing. And, well, let's go ahead and take a listen in for our map selection.
Welcome to Map Select, presented by OMEN. Both of these teams came into this match with the same seed and the same record. So therefore, it was a coin flip that was done before this that ended up being Sentinels Team A, Gen.G Team B. So we will jump into the pick ban phase. Sentinels, your first ban.
Ban Icebox.
Ban Icebox. Your ban.
Ban Sunset.
Sunset. Map number 1 from Sentinels.
Pick Split.
Split. Side on Split.
Attack.
Attack. And map number 2.
Lotus.
Lotus. Side on Lotus.
Attack.
Attack. All right, next set of bans sitting with Sentinels. You have Ascent, Bind, and Breeze.
Ban Ascent.
Ban Ascent. Your ban, you have Bind and Breeze.
Ban Bind.
Ban Bind. Map number 3 by default is going to be Breeze. Sentinel, side on Breeze.
Attack.
Attack. All right, good luck to you both.
Thank you. Good luck. Good luck.
A lot of deliberation there. We don't have a lot of time, but I want to break this down real fast. Split, first map.
They had to pick their poison. Sunset or
Yeah.
Split. Sunset is a map Gen.G plays way less of. I think Split is going to be so hard for them to win. If they're to win this series, Gen.G, it has to go to Breeze.
Yeah, exactly. And when we talk about knowing the teams, knowing the fundamentals, a split comp with the double duelist is something that you need to know to a T.
Yes.
We've also had some show-ins of it, and if the preparation is there, I think that this overall takes a bit of an edge for Sentinels.
Lotus is the pick of Gen.G, but but it's still a scary map. Both these teams play that same standard Fnatic comp with the Fade, with the Raze, and honestly, they both execute on it incredibly well. I think they're the two strongest teams on that map that are still left in the tournament. So that's kind of a coin flip.
Splits.
This is going to be such a tough series for Gen.G.
It's going to be tough, but it's definitely if I could choose just two maps to see these two teams play in it, it would have definitely been Split and Lotus.
Yeah.
I know that Sunset was out of the question.
Yeah, well, it looks like we got our gift, and this is going to be incredible. But folks, let's get this show on the road because we have great matches on the table. It's grand finals on the line. Gen.G versus Sentinels, HyperX versus Loud. Day 7 of Masters Madrid starts right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to day 6 of Masters Madrid.
It feels amazing to have a tournament like this, like VALORANT Master, right near my home. I dream about this and now it's real. I'm so excited.
There is no chance, there is no hope. Sentinels, inevitable. Sen look incredible here to take their appointment with Gen.G in the upper finals.
I feel good about our win against Loud. I think as a team we played really good overall, and I think we showed a good version of ourselves.
There's no chance. There's no chance whatsoever. Gen.G 13-9. It's on to the upper final.
뭐 사실 세계 대회에서 이렇게 성적을 좋게 내본 적도 없고 그리고 작년까지만 해도 세계 대회라는 것을 밟아본 적이 없기 때문에
Gen.G, they play very slow and methodical, but at the same time they have very individually talented players.
이제 새로 리빌딩이 되면서 이제 팀원들과 친해지려고 노력을 많이 했고
Gen.G definitely look like a tough opponent, but if people can't stop us, that's not our problem.
그리고 우리가 만약 이긴다면 젠지 번들을 꼭 사길 바란다.
Where are you guys from?
From Madrid.
From Madrid, yeah.
From Spain. Sentinels. We are supporting Sentinels.
Yeah. I'm HyperX. Jason Susanto is the GOAT.
What do you think of his beatboxing?
It's really good, actually.
When we go our bracket, no matter we win or lose, we will like improve very fast. And hopefully in lower bracket, we will show you guys on our improvements.
Ir pra lower bracket é difícil, deve ser frustrante pra vocês assistirem, assim como é pra gente perder um jogo tão close. Mas faz parte, somos humanos, a gente também erra. A gente vai consertar tudo que a gente fez de errado nesse jogo pra tentar ganhar a HyperX.
Loud is a bit like us. They're really strong. They're also creative.
Come on! Loud just can't lose!
A gente já venceu times com esse estilo de jogo, então a gente vai saber lidar com eles.
For Loud, I'm just gonna go all in this match, and I hope you guys enjoy our WKB.
Vamos Loud!
Vamos Loud! Go HyperX! Mark my words, HyperX for the winning!
Bienvenidos a Madrid. Eso no.
Sentinels. No confiaron, pero míralo. Llevo con los míos y le grado explotar. Le di la razón al que me quiso ver bien. Lo soñé en mi habitación y ahora en primera me ven. No te hablo del avión. Vine por mi cinturón.
Gen.G.
No confiaron, pero míralo. Llego con los míos y le agrado explotar. No confiaron, pero míralo.
grand final spot is on the line, as well as history. Both teams looking to do something massive for their organizations. For Sentinels, it's about going back to championship form and fighting for a crown yet again. And for Gen.G, it's not just about establishing Pacific as a strong region, Kukuka.
Yep.
It's about Gen.G establishing themselves as a top-tier team in Valorant.
Exactly, Alex. Seed 1 is no longer enough. Both of these teams want the first spot in the grand finals. They want to be the top one out of the entire world. And of course, the journeys have been a bit different and so similar at the same time, Mimi.
The last time that Sentinels played a Korean team in the upper finals of an international event, it was over 1,000 days ago. Sen won that. They went on to win Valorant's first international LAN and haven't made it back to a final since. So much about this team has changed since then. Only TenZ remains, but he's a completely new player from the star-locking Jet way back when. The difference as well for Gen.G is wild. Back then, it was solo, playing alongside Lakia, who he's now coaching. They lost that match. It was the deepest the Korean team has ever gotten. They have a chance to make up for that again today against this new Sentinels.
Crazy. I mean, when you set the stage and you really think about how this has all come together, it is absolutely mind-blowing. The fact that Sentinels, a team that people were clowning on, and now they are the top of the mountain. Gen.G, I feel people were forgetting about them, and this is their opportunity.
To some point, people are still forgetting because we have seen the miraculous runs before. There has been teams that have been breathtaking. EDT last year made us dream.
Yes.
But it was most of it was because of Kangan. They had that one-star player that everybody was looking at. For Gen.G, as I said, it's quiet. It's the group effort. It's actually relying on those fundamentals and how far
Sum
they
of all
can
of its
take them.
parts.
Exactly.
What's crazy is that people are still doubting this team. They've done this run quietly. They haven't gotten the same fan attention as a team like Sentinels. They haven't shocked in that same way, but they have consistently performed and played excellent Valorant throughout. Their players have come out with unbelievable form. Remember Karen, he's a rookie. His first global event. He played his first VCT match this year, and now he's a game away from the finals.
He doesn't care. And that's the wilder part about this as well, because you would think like, oh, the pressure's on, but it feels like for all 10 of these teams, they just feel confident walking onto that stage, and oh boy, it's going to be a good one. But here we go, Split, what we got for the comps?
Gen.G is going into Sentinel's home turf. They have been incredible on this map thus far. Their defense looks indomitable, and Gen.G are playing a very different comp. They go for the double duelists on this map. They're very reliant on Texture and Meteor to be set up for insane individual performances on this double dive. That's how they beat HyperX.
Yeah, exactly. Probably one of the reasons why they decide to start on the attack. If they want to start with a strong foot, it has to be throughout very explosive rounds.
Yes.
So watch out, because the retakes for Sentinels have been on point this event.
If Gen.G can beat Sentinels on their best map, there is no denying that this team is ready for a trophy.
Well, folks, this is it. It's now time to figure out who's going to be going to the grand finals. Will it be Sentinels? Will it be Gen.G? We got two excellent casters to tell this story. It's Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy, Mimi, and Kukuka. We've got a barn burner of a game here. Sentinels looking to reclaim their former glory, while Gen.G have a serious opportunity to make Korean history.
Well, that's the thing. You look back in the history of Valorant, 1,029 days ago, TenZ sent Newturn down to that lower bracket from the upper final, a chance for a final, and on that team you had Lakia and Coach Solo. A lot has changed since then, but I can tell you now that Lakia will be there looking for revenge. It is a grudge match with so many stories, and we're kicking it off on Sentinel's home turf of Split.
They have been, without a doubt, the best team we've seen on Split in recent memory. Gen.G have a hell of a task, starting it out on their opponent's map pick with Lotus up next, and as we saw in the veto, it'll finish out on Breeze. Gen.G didn't want to pull Bind into the mix. Lucky is probably happy about that. Bad memories from back in the day. As we start out the pistol round, Sentinels on the defensive side, 2 ghosts and a spread defense, but they're looking to crunch on mid after contact. For Gen.G, they've got players outside A and some looking to move into mid. It looks like we're going to have a scrap on our hands.
Yeah, if we've seen anything from this match or this matchup, we know that Gen.G are fantastic at adapting and learning. They played HyperX in the regular season on this map, ended up coming back in this tournament and demolishing them on it. Meteor, though, in this round, he's just looking to sell a bit of a ruse, and he has done. A push coming down mid, but the rest of Sentinels are all rotating over towards that B site. Not a member even in the right half of the map.
this is a pistol round that plays out a lot less like a coin flip. Both teams reactively waiting on mid. Nothing happens, so the fake info on A is given away, and the space is taken. Very nicely handled the setup for a post-plant situation. Sentinels send in a dog and some util, though, and they're going to deny the plant altogether. But in the chaos, Texture's able to pick up one, and the nade buys them space. They can secure the site now, get a plant, and look to play after. Meteors also snuck up behind Tens. Didn't matter with Lakia shutting him down, and these other players now locked in towards the spawn. Up top is Zelsis alone, but there's still some fight left in Sentinels. They don't want to give this round up just yet.
Yeah, had to be a fallback from Gen.G, not wanting to overextend. Karon still, though, holding on to some control, and they've spotted out Zelsis. They know where both of these players are at this stage, and with the positions they currently hold, it's definitely not going to be easy for the side of Sentinels to get back into this one. Running out of time, need to try and isolate one of these duels, and with the spot already coming in, the rest of the players line up like a firing squad. All left onto Jungkook. He's been fantastic at clutches, but it's not happening this time. Gen.G, they will take the pistol.
And again, just the patience shown by this attacking side. You saw, as we said, Sentinels off rip, look for mid control. They don't get it. The fake is made by Gen.G, making noise on A, taking space, and they walk into B for free. But post-plant, the idea to just send the two players in spawn and they sit there, waiting, running the clock down. Jungkook couldn't go out and fight with his teammate because he's worried about a flank coming up through heaven. This is a really nice pistol round from the side of Gen.G. I do like Sentinel's ideas as well, because they laid a trap. Just Gen.G were too wise to fall into it. Now on the attack side, you know, it's an interesting buy, Tom. I have to say, Texture is surprising me, because I'll talk all day long about the benefits of playing this Outlaw. I just don't expect to see it on the attack that often, but he's found success with it right off rip. Nobody on the defense has shields, so this weapon, even if they have light shields, which they don't, it's still going to be an operator. 2 shots, very fast movement, and a quick reload.
It's a round as well, though, where realistically, nothing really for their opponents to be playing with. Sentinels just saving up for the next round. It does mean that you want to keep it clean. Meteor, the only player that can really go down without being too much of a detriment. And obviously getting that extra information is a decent start. Zeka finding one. That's the spike down for Jungkook as well. This is starting to get worrying.
Well, Texture's down to 13 HP as well. You know, he's pretty much in an even fight regardless of who he takes on. That heal needed to come through. Luckily, there's been some time. As that clock runs down, the health goes back up for Texture, 100 HP. Lakia and Munchkin there to fight with him, but they have to walk into the open to take that spike into a big crossfire in play for Sentinels. Instead, they're going to take some space in heaven, get that little bit of extra space to play with, and here comes the snake bite. It's not gone fully into the corner. Still a nade to play with for Texture, flash for Lakia, but they're caught off guard, and Zeus is intense! Pick off both up top! That's a disaster for Gen.G! Now 1-1 after winning the pistol.
Yeah, an instant response with the Mastercard Thrifty, and maybe some jitters for Gen.G, because that was a heavy investment. 4 players with rifles. Already you're seeing the initial duels being won, and really isolated fights, like the spike going through the smoke in his own for Karon. That is an uncharacteristic error for someone like him. We've been singing his praises about his positioning, his movement, especially after the switch to OMEN. I felt like he was fantastic. And that is a really rough way to kick off your attack. Rifles now fully bought up on what was meant to be an easy victory. Well, now Sentinels have the same chance.
Gen.G with just a few pistols will struggle immensely on this. Now, we've seen this a couple times, this poison orb thrown up over right at the start of the round from Munchkin. It's causing a lot of problems for that Sentinels defense with the fact that he can slip out to the right side. You're going to need a trap there, which can obviously be broken by some of Texture's utility if he lobs it through. So it's not going to be that consistent. And if you leave it unchecked, well, someone's going to be sneaking through it in some round. You never know when. Always in the back of your mind. Now, the mid-hold, very strong for Sentinels. I don't imagine there's too much trouble. The close range engagement, though, catches Zelsis off and 10-2. Looks like I should have kept my mouth shut. We're all of a sudden in a 5 versus 3. Showstopper popped and fired at random. It doesn't land, but they've got a huge advantage to play with here. Sassy needs to hold strong.
He's in a good position, though. Already dropping a first, but the trade is instantaneous, keeping that huge advantage. What a chaotic start to this map already. The delay already put into position. Munchkin in a good spot, has a teammate alongside it, may not even need it, and it's going to be Mastercard Thrifty straight back, getting their money's worth in the early stages of this game.
They bought hardly anything here again, Tom.
They bought more than Sentinels.
That's true. You know, this is a hell of an argument for the bundle, but there's a few Sheriff shots landing there with the classic assists on the back of it. Just absolutely insane to see this in the first 3 rounds. That back and forth.
That was Zels's orb as well that went down, because the other one was thrown in B main.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
you're right.
so that means that he got caught by his own utility. Again, it's an error from either side. Both in the early stages have made mistakes. All right, Tens. That's one hell of a start. They've still got a couple of rifles. It's definitely not the prettiest of buys, but even still, somehow the team with the weaker has got off to a good start.
Well, that's it, because they happen to take the fight up against one of the players who has that rifle. And John QT, other side of the map, he's running the Phantom, now actually swapping over. Gonna be Sen and Tens towards A. But for the side of Sentinels, those 2 rifles, they stand a good chance in any fight. Those pistols, though, they're left to do a lot. The whole mid-control is around those
so
pistols.
much info.
They want to be playing this off the utility. That's the nade going through, forcing them back, doing some damage, too. Karen's now down to 83. I was a little bit of decay as well. The orb had gone up.
They got a rifle, but because of that neural theft, they used it to check if anybody was holding the rifle. So that's now a 3rd gun picked up from Sentinels. So they have boosted this quite a bit. 40 seconds left, 3 players still within the B site, but you still have Tens with a Paranoia available to him. Nothing really on Zelsis though, so it is going to be onto him.
Oh, he's forced out of position. That Paranoia, it's landed on the players further up, and one was blinded. Caught by the trap, another now inside, and well, he's gone. 2 kills with a classic for Zelsis. He's being wrapped on, at least a chance to shut him down. One that they must realize. Meteor, there we go. It's a connection with 12 seconds left, and the spike's gone up into heaven. Drop, even if the last kill wasn't found. I don't think they were getting that one done. 2-2.
You're never going to believe this, but that was a Mastercard thrift. I don't know what's happening.
Is that the first one we've seen so far?
No, I believe it's the 3rd.
3rd in a row.
This is such a peculiar game. Now, obviously, because both teams are still sort of building up finances.
What is this?
The next one's not going to be, but if you've ever seen an advertisement for buying the SEN bundle, that is 2 kills off the back of Zelsis, the man who's been plugging it this entire event. We're never going to hear the end of it.
Well, at least they're feeling it too. Kaplan with his thrifty calls. Forgot the Mastercard in front of it, but I'll forgive him. I'll forgive him this once. Well, Gen.G, they're not going to be too happy about the back and forth nature of this early game, especially the fact that they got caught by not being able to shoot the traps. It's a little unfortunate, but these things happen. There was a combo of util, again, thrown towards them, making it that little bit more awkward. They try to take some fights. That's
How has he not destroyed that?
Yeah, I'm starting to think Sentinels have got some sort of trap abuse going on. They're not taking the bullets.
Look at Meteor, though. He's just about to walk in. Sassy might be caught unaware. Got so far forward before anybody really realized. Tens up above. Has support from Zelsis, but this will be an afterplant. This time, I don't think there's any denial. And Meteor hasn't stopped his push. He's still going forward.
It's a lot of space to take, a position you'd usually expect, but the big difference to this is Karen. He's also there with a Paranoia in hand, and it's about to come through. There it is, the step was heard. But luckily, those players are able to round the corner just in time. Nade, not really going to force Meteor back, but he falls back anyways, concedes the space. They're going to commit utility to trying to clear that back out, at least in his mind, but the Paranoia is kept in the back pocket, now burned up to go towards Elbow. Here comes the blast pack from Zekin. He's towards the side, picking up Karen, and Zelsis had opened up the rest, leaving Meteor alone, doing so much damage. It looks like Munchkin was able to catch an angle, and with the snakebite landed, that's buying a little bit more time. Tens has to run for the hills now. There's no time left with another found. Gen.G take the lead. It's not quite a Mastercard thrifty, but it is a Red Bull clutch.
The script really is just paying dividends at this point. A round break back for Gen.G. Coming off the clutch, again, we talk about Sentinels in these retakes, and they're phenomenal. Just being able to come in from behind, isolating these fights, and even after the aggressive positions that were held. But as Munchkin, the leader of the team, someone who's been highlighted so many times by different members of his roster to help elevate, well, this time, he's done it individually.
Get out of my way!
Now, straight away, Blade Storm popped. The pacey side of this round looking to come out as they take early space towards this A site. Pit already into mid, but straight over the top goes Meteor. He's looking to pressure.
Oh, I thought he might have had that for free, but the cage blocked off just enough to give him that little bit of space to work with. Still a player on B and one in mid. Gen.G have a lot of space. You don't expect to see a Sentinels crunch just yet. And look at how much they're keeping in their back pocket for the eventual fight. A Paranoia is still to work with. Almost every piece of utility, that the big ones online. One flash just popped by Sassy, but Meteor turns. The blades are used up. Look, they're not finished pushing. Lakia went charging forward, even though his teammate had fallen back a little disjointed from Gen.G, but Munchkin capitalizes on the chaos, picks up 2, and keeps having control. That's a huge position for them to play with. And now Sentinels even send Sassy back to reclaim it, buying so much time as only John QT's on the site, flanked out and distracted by Meteor. The clock is running down. Munchkin late flanks up through heaven, and the classic flank's awkward. The knife kill is in, but it's too little too late. Again, the time is enough for Gen.G to claim the round.
Yeah, we've finally seen our second round in a row after what was a crazy back and forth. It is Gen.G to come out on top, but again, it was close, and John QT comes out with a knife. Munchkin, though, he has got off to a fiery start. The way that he's been playing, the way he's been punishing them as they try to rotate. His late flanks in the backline have been so problematic. And it's the spike to do the job. 4-2 in the lead. As said, this has been Sentinel's home turf. We even saw the video earlier, John QT saying, well, you know, it's his favorite map, and you can understand why. 4 back-to-back victories. 7 of the last 8 won on this map. But, as said, Gen.G have been so fantastic at adapting. They beat EDG, they beat HyperX, they've been evolving throughout this tournament. It's not going to be easy, just because this map is solid for Sentinels.
Good cancel of the dog with a deep snake bite. Gen.G denied some more information around mid. Looks like the rotates are underway. Swinging all the way back to the B side. Sentinels have been able to win with pistols before. Some ultimates to back them up. On the side of Gen.G, though, Munchkin's game has been fantastic. Just last round, the way he played and controlled Heaven in the late game, it allowed that spike to explode. Now he's got a Viper's Pit, thanks to his hard work. Seekers as well, but they're not used. Instead, it's going to be dashed straight out in front of the Seekers. Meteor, though, he's caught. He can't quite see anything for a moment, but as the Cloudburst fades, he's able to find a target. Nice headshot, but the wall gets in the way. Sassy holding on to life, barely, and he'll eventually be shut down with the Viper's Pit in. This becomes a hard round to win, but a showstopper popped. It's going to be a gamble from Zek, and he has to pick a spot, and he's found Karen, but landed with his back turned to Munchkin. A quick execution leaves John QT alone. But with Meteor down, there's a chance. That's the hat popped off the head, but Munchkin fires right back.
This guy has been so good so far. I just love watching his reposition within that Viper's Pit. He hears the showstopper, he goes, what's the chance of him shooting it straight down? Yeah. Very, very low. You're going to try and hit towards that plant spot. So he repositions forward into that Viper's Pit and just manages to isolate the battle, takes him out, and then this, I'll be honest, this was just prediction. Knowing that his opponent would eventually try and catch him on the ping, it has been such a worldie of a game. And here's someone as well. This is his 7th, I believe, international event. The best spot the Munchkin has ever finished is 9th to 10th. He went through the likes of Crazy Raccoon in the past, a team that never really achieved anything. As mentioned, he has already got top 3. This man is gunning for so much more.
Yeah, they were Crazy Raccoon, I remember, a good regional team, but once they came to the international stage, and for a lot of Munchkin's teams, they just got tested in a way that they couldn't stand up
Gambit,
to. Yeah,
and it ended.
And actually, even Munchkin's runs, it was always playing the same teams twice. Like, it happened against Foot, it happened against Gambit. I can't remember the other team, but there was definitely a back-to-back as well. This guy always ends up facing a team and then coming back and being eliminated by them later on.
He does always seem to improve, though. That's the thing.
That's how he got here.
Yeah, give credit to him as someone leading, and he's leading by example right now. He's forced Sentinels into a position where they're taking a pause. And again, you look at some of the results. This is a team that, well, they played Loud a couple of times in their last 4 matches. Loud only managed 4 rounds and 3 rounds. So Gen.G are already way far and above a lot of the teams that Sens have had to battle against. Interestingly, again, we're actually going to see that Outlaw onto Lakia. Clearly having a lot of faith in this gun, but having your Sky play it, that's intriguing.
If I wasn't already a fan of Gen.G, I'll tell you what, I'm going to need a jersey after this one. been complaining all tournament, all month long about how little this is being used, and they're coming in attack side on Split. And
on Sky as well.
On Sky, yeah.
Has he been watching Youngties? Is that what's happening?
It could be. It could be. He's learning from the best. Well, 5 on the board already for Gen.G, as we said. This was not going to be a pretty start from what we guessed, at least. Split has been terrifying, like you're saying. But Gen.G have already far exceeded expectations. They've got a commanding lead early on, even after a scrappy beginning, even after denial of the second round. I thought that was the start of the end, Tom. I was starting to worry. But here we are, round number 8, and Gen.G have another chance to extend this lead. Sentinels down to their last credits and used all their ultis very recently.
They've been doing this a lot. Meteor left in a lurk. He's been able to take quite a lot of space. Now, this is space that's given up. JongQT has his cam, consistently watching. And with only 40 seconds left, we're seeing this late clear into middle. Now, a lot of this was probably off the idea that, okay, we could have doubled back through and taken control into heaven. Cam already going to be gone, but now with 30 seconds left, they look to head into this stacked up site. Sentinel and Viper. It's never easy to get past this util, but they're beginning to predict it, and now they have to try and clear the players.
A good trap by JongQT, a little closer, 12 seconds left, and there's still some harassment on the site. JongQT drops the spike, 8 seconds left, but players up in heaven surely not able to deny, no nade, nothing to clear them from position, and the fight's going towards Gen.G. Oh, Zekin, full HP. But one hit to that outlaw, TenZ, one hit to damn near anything. Zekin closes the distance, but a shot to the head from Texture pretty much seals the fate of this one, with TenZ having 2 players to drop and Munchkin way ahead of him on that fight. 6 rounds now for Gen.G, a solid A take, and Sentinels left with scraps for the next round.
But the crazy thing about this is a lot of the setups that are being put into play by SEN are actually catching players. Like, look at JongQT right now. He's 12-5 because they are running into his trips. He's getting an opening kill, but every single time there's a response from Gen.G. That's been one of the things I've loved about this team is the trading is on point. They are so quick and so committed as well. You're going into a site with 20 seconds left. There are so many variables that you have to look for, but this team is ready to trade whatever comes their way. And with 8 seconds left, they get that spike down, and from then on, it looked like plain sailing.
That's the point where most teams start to panic. It's the point where I start to panic a little bit, but they were just...
panicking for them.
yeah. I can only imagine being in the coaching seat. You're screaming about the time left, but they had it all under control. Cool as a cucumber as we go into round number 9. Sentinels, as we said, they've got scraps, and the pistols are apparent to us. There's only a few ghosts, a sheriff. This is a round that they've won before, so you have to be careful. And, well, caution to the wind for TenZ. He goes through the orb and falls right down. Let's see what else we've got, though. The weapon's going to be upgraded, and there's still some util to play with.
This is the thing. We've been hyping up controller players all the way through this event. We've talked about Karom. We've talked about the likes of TenZ. Maybe we underestimated Munchkin, because right now he is on an absolute tear. Again, just the patience. You're going to see the gamble. I don't really blame SEN at this point. They've had so many late A takes that they're reading into the fact that, okay, this is going to be A. And what happens? Texture just walks a little stroll straight in towards this B site. A round that now already looks over. Yeah, sure, the Sentinels retakes have been good historically, but if they pull this one off with a couple of ghosts, a classic, and a sheriff, well, we're going to be marveling at that for a long time.
Yeah, there's something special about doing it in a post plant on your way back through a site like this with essentially a quick fire, a semi-automatic 2-shot op in play for Lakia with everybody on light shields. It really is one of those rounds where you start to think about just going down to the spike, maybe dropping some weapons if Gen.G do get a bit aggressive. And, well, that's a bit of... What in the world is that? Of all the ways to use that weapon, of all the ways I thought I'd see that weapon used, running through your own nade to double hip fire at a player who's eco, that was not on my list. I didn't see that coming.
Hey, you know what? They've got the credits to play with. It's a gun that he doesn't necessarily need to bring forward. In fact, he's going to buy straight back into a rifle again.
No, that's the only request I have.
The thing is, his opponent's not going to pick it up. So realistically, all that's happened there is Lakia has gained an orb and maybe wasted a little bit of extra credits. But that's the thing. Again, it was spoken about in an interview with Alex after their last match. He said that it just feels like Gen.G have a great read on us. At the moment, it's looking like they have a great read on Sentinels as well, because the way they've started this match off, they've gone the right way every single time. The paranoia, decent, but the counter there, TenZ will be able to keep his life, and the aggression quelled for a second.
And look how quickly they've got a response. There's 4 players from Sentinels here. Make that 3. TenZ is down. Zels is spotted. Wallbang. Second falling. Sassy here and expected. They even expect the 4th player swinging. And that is about as bad of an attacking start as you could expect, in that they run into the entirety of the defense and they still win it. Not only win it flawlessly. That's how this game is going for Gen.G right now.
They genuinely took about 40 damage across the board in those fights. It's absurd. Again, this time Sentinels had the perfect read. They had the expectations, they had the rotations, they had the players in position, and they lose every single fight. John QT, all he can do at this point is just look to hold on to the rifle, but the credits are flowing for Gen.G. Of course they're going to try and hunt him down.
Yeah, why not? There's no hassle even for most of these players dying. I'll take an orb and give you 1 towards a neural theft. No worries.
It's great, you can have 2.
Yeah, have them all, mate. Have the ult. He's got 1 at least with Munchkin down, and the others maybe a little too far away. Texture, no blast pack.
Now.
Nade, but it's not even going to blow up in time. So, 8-2. This is a scoreline that I think, hey, I actually don't think is that surprising. One team having 8, the other team having 2. The fact that it's Gen.G with the 8 on their attack side so far, little surprising. The fact that we've actually, I would say, most of this game so far, I've been complimenting Gen.G, pushing and pulling the map, finding open sites, being able to run into the lighter side of the defense. Then we see what happens if they run into the entire defense, and they still win the round flawlessly. What else? What other kind of challenge can you present?
But that's the thing. I think going into this match, it was almost unequivocal that Sentinels were the best team in the world on split. We might have to reevaluate that after this map, because right now it's not looking particularly close. There needs to be some sort of response here for Sentinels. They brought back in again the ults, not particularly close, at least the valuable ones, but they are looking to put pressure on. Looking to try and deny Meteor. He's going to go straight through. If he waited a second, I think he actually gets the kill, but he's still going to be able to survive. They've used a lot of utility to try and shut this man down, and he's not taking a lick of damage. Zelsis, though, the timing here could be everything. He's got it nigh on, perfect! Looks for a big play, and he's found one. 2 kills down, the first time they've really managed to catch them off guard. Texture falls, and just 2 remain. Meteor looking for a move. He's at least going to get 1, a quick snap back. Make this one a little bit competitive, and the man they're up against has been insane.
Heal through for Zelsis. It's not going to be an easy fight on any front. He's choosing the harder of the 2. Just 1 player towards the spawn. Whoops. There we go. 1 player towards the spawn, but 2 up top. Make that 3 now as they come into position. No snake bites. That orb only going to block vision, maybe add some decay, give him an opportunity, though, to play up top with the shorty. I like him trying to create some opportunities, but ultimately too big of a task for anyone to take. 8-3, and the last round could see Sentinels find a 4th, Tom. That is not something I was ready to say today.
Yeah. The good thing for Sentinels fans out there is we have seen mass landslide victories for the side of Sentinels on either side of the map. They have proven it time and time again. Look at their last match versus Loud, 9 rounds. So they can do it. It's not a death sentence, especially if they can get to 4, but it's the manner in which Gen.G have been winning that does make me doubt that. And they're going straight back to the bread and butter. The A take has been fantastic. TenZ has been able to delay them at least a little bit, and the Seekers are going to give things away. The nade from Zekken is good as well. They've got off to a strong start.
Yeah, the util through from Sassy as well helps out. They're blinded and paranoid by TenZ, who's now making his appearance up top. Boombot through, it's found a player, and the bullets soon follow. Only 2 left standing for Gen.G. A healthy recovery for Sentinels towards the end of the half. It was looking a little bit shaky, but they found their footing now. And actually, I maybe even spotted both players there. I'm not sure if the dog got far enough through that wall to see Karen, but either way, they'll suspect it. Spike on the floor, and they'll attempt to take it. Problem is, Zelsis is stood on the other side of that smoke. Sassy up top, spraying away with him. With 50 seconds left and 5 players to take down. Well, we said the last round was a bit too big of a task. This one, good luck.
Protect the KD at all costs. Munchkin can't really hope for anything else. Looking for the fight. And TenZ is just being an irritation at this stage, just placing smokes in his face. This is all just a formality. No hope for this one to go wrong for Sentinels, and they will at least close out the remaining couple of Flawless to give them their 4th round onto the board after what was almost a flawless half out of Gen.G. An early, shaky back and forth that was competitive, and then a 6-round streak for the Korean super team. They've definitely put themselves in a good spot, but as we know, Sentinels can definitely turn the tide.
It's not over yet, that's for sure, but Gen.G have to be happy with how things have gone so far. In fact, we've got some friends of Gen.G stood by in the audience. Let's hear from them.
Hey guys, Mika Fabs here in the crowd right now with Jules, a Gen.G super fan. Hey Jules, where are you from?
I'm from Korea, but I live in the States as well.
Oh, okay, so this is a tough match for you, but clearly you are for Gen.G. I actually hear you're a friend of Textures, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh, wow. So how do you know him, and what is he like outside of the game?
I'm his channel comment moderator, and he's just a great guy, a friendly guy as well.
Yeah, you mentioned that he works really, really hard as well outside of the game, right?
Absolutely. We call him pro streamer because he's a pro player, but he streams like streamer. He always works outside of his scrims as well. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's been such a character as well, and so fun to watch too. Now, finally, I hear you're not just a Gen.G fan, you're not just a Texture fan, but you're an overall VCT fan. You've been to so many events. Can you let us know what they are?
Yes, I've been to Pacific last year and also went to LA for Champs. This year I'm at Madrid and I'm going to Seoul for Champs again.
Awesome! So we might see you again, and we might have to loot back this interview and come full circle. Now, finally, I need you to give one big shout out to all of the Gen.G fans over here in the stage and everywhere. Give your best battle cry for Gen.G.
Thank you. Wow! I think Gen.G is gonna win. Guys, Gen.G has been exceeding the expectations, and they're really gonna do well. So please root for Gen.G.
All right, let's hear it for Gen.G! But on the other side, we also do have to hear it for Sentinels before we get back into the game.
All right, Tom. Yeah, you know what? I got to hear a Gen.G battle cry, but the crowd didn't really turn up for Sentinels, Tom. Give me your best Sentinels battle cry. Hype them up. Give it to me.
Oh, buy the SEN bundle. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. I can't believe.
You can work on your delivery, Tom. I'll say that.
The battle cry I have a tear in my eye. That was fantastic.
It was wonderful. Well,
8-4 though.
We've heard about Gen.G's hard-working nature in that interview, and listen, hard work pays off. So far, a 4-round lead, double the rounds of Sentinels, hailed as the best team in the world on this map, Tom. They've got to show us why they're called that here on their attack.
It is time to prove it, because as we know, next map up is the choice of Gen.G. Lotus has been a home turf for them. 5-map streak. Not a bad map for Sentinels, but you wouldn't want to be going in this series with a deficit. Zekken now becomes the pinnacle. He's had a bit of a quieter game, but we know that at any stage, this youngster can turn it on, can take over rounds, and especially on that raise, it's been fearsome. Blacky though, ooh, he's actually just looking to deal with utility. He's gone down, been having a bit of a rough map individually. And the problem is, this is all just the ruse. This is going to start pulling players over and put the pressure onto Meteor.
That's a spot that you have to check on the way out. For Sentinels, you imagine they will. John QT, look at him. You see him in the X-ray just sneaking past towards the screens. They'll never expect him to be in this corner. And the steps heard on the rotation back. Oh, this gap is absolutely massive. No way that Munchkin could expect it. But does he expect someone to be on the site? He could think that's the only player. One guy in screens coming back to check there's no one and running back. This all makes sense. For Texture to be here, though, oh, they'd have to be ever vigilant to see it. And now he's got an opportunity to trade it back further. It's huge from Texture. Completely bamboozling them. 10 seconds left. A nade on the floor. A blast back for the fight, but Zekken still wins it. 5 seconds. They need to plant it now. If they can deny this, it's done on the spot. Karen does well to find one, and there's the follow-up. Gen.G with another round. The pistol injecting some rounds and bringing them ever closer to winning Sentinels map pick.
That is the second time in this tournament I have watched that man there, Texture, win an impossible round. Win a round that never should have been. There was one where he exploded through a smoke and instantly popped 3 heads. This one was discipline. This one was waiting patiently for the perfect moment to strike. And again, he takes down 3 players. This man has been revitalized within this Gen.G roster. And that has got to be infuriating for Sentinels, because JongQT basically did everything right. Gets an opener, catches the player rotating, but one man missed. And that's the pistol round to Gen.G.
That's got to be so frustrating. Even thinking back, he heard the second player running up in heaven. Chance of a third being there very low. Karan, not in danger. In fact, he is in danger! 3 kills! They were close, but, well, the numbers advantage doesn't really matter when the judge is firing away like that. The last could have been his, but Texture finds it instead. 1 man lost on Gen.G, a fantastic follow-up round to their pistol, stacking the chips even further on their side of the table.
History might be made in more ways than one today. Unless Sentinels come alive fairly soon, we could be seeing their greatest ever defeat with this iteration on this map. They've played it so many times within the Americas, so many times already in this tournament as well. But right now, Gen.G are showing why they might just be the hope of Pacific to finally get towards a title win. It definitely feels still a fair bit away. But in this round, they've not got a completely weak purchase. A few rifles, an outlaw as well. Okay, Karan's left on a pistol, and Munchkin's SMG is not the most desired weaponry. I'm also looking at Texture being 2 orbs away from having that showstopper. The main thing, though, for Sentinels is they finally got the rifles.
Well, if anything, that's the pressure of this round. They've got the rifles, but they need to find success with it. Weaker weapons for Gen.G. That outlaw is dangerous. What's even more dangerous is the 4 players on this A site. We saw Gen.G run into this 4 of Sentinels up in heaven. And Gen.G lost about 40 HP total with a flawless execution on the A site. Sentinels are doing it with a split through vents. 2 players on their way to crunch heaven. Problem is, Gen.G can crunch right back. Lakia and Munchkin aren't in heaven, instead out on the ledge. It's a very unusual position. Lakia can flash up from down below, and Munchkin can always have somewhere to fall back to. Oh, not with his knife out. That's a big mistake. And now they know at least there's another player on site. They might even have heard them in screens, but again, they haven't checked for this extra man. Lakia tucked in the corner. Sentinels, 12 seconds left, and a 1 versus 2. They've bought themselves the space to plant.
Yeah, the one thing for Karan is he doesn't currently have a weapon. And everybody dying around the window means that he might even have to put himself out into the open to give this one up. The reposition as well from Celsius is sublime. It would have to be an instant headshot. And although they pushed in to pretty much all of Gen.G, at least all of their weaponry, Sentinels do manage to weather the storm just about.
Well, Tom, you know, this is the expected result, though. 2-round win, 1 on the back of the pistol, the other the follow-up. You win your 3rd up against those weaker weapons. It still gets close. Couple of well-placed shots by Sentinels puts them ahead in those fights. A good reposition in the end. But 1 battle going slightly differently, and this map spirals out of their control. They're holding on to a cliff's edge by their fingernails. And at 10-5, Gen.G now pull out the showstopper, and they've gotten away just about rounding the corner in time. That was a target-rich environment. But now Gen.G have to fall back, surely. They won't keep pushing. They won't keep taking this space. With Texture's gone back, but Meteor's gone forward. He doesn't even have a dash online. This guy's crazy. He's cloud bursting around to try and stay alive. He's still not running away, Tom. He's sticking around for a fight. I did not expect that.
Maybe not expecting that many players to be there. Texture as well, he wants to try and recover this. Such an aggressive start. The Paranoia showstopper combo could have eliminated half of Sentinels. Instead, it found nothing. And now it does kind of look like Gen.G is scrambling a little bit. Such aggressive positions, and the fallback is going to go towards that A site. The thing is, though, because they had so much map control, there's been an early read from the side of Gen.G. Once again, it's looking like we might have 4 players within this A site as Sentinels go to push.
1 flash on Lakia, 1 nade on Texture. No paranoia, some smokes. The second just came online for Karen and one's just being popped down. Here comes the showstopper though. That's the big gun on the other side. And Sentinels find the opening with it, but there's a response. Gen.G equalize things, catch them on the rotate up through heaven and drop the spike. 20 seconds left and the nade buys even more time. The rotation now from Texture as he realizes they're gonna wanna hightail it, move to the other side, but look, he's already here. He's ahead of them with 10 seconds left. There's no time for delay. They need this fight. They need to win it. And they have just about 5 seconds. 4 as he reaches the side. It's too late. They've bought enough time. The spike plant doesn't come in.
This man's positioning has been pretty much second to none. Every single time he makes the right read, Texture is having a worldie of a defensive half, and Sentinels are just walking into this trap almost every single time. Gen.G's read to get 4 players there, perfect. He drops the spike and then instantly hightails it, knows that he can have faith in Munchkin to hold on to that site, and buys almost exactly enough time. The fact that it has to be slowed down just enough, that split second, does the work. The heroes are there, the stars are aligning. Sentinels are on their last legs, investing back into this one. They have some rifles, and they're almost at a Viper's pit.
Gen.G have been bypassed on mid already, but that was heard. Karen knows exactly what was going down. This weapon, the judge in hand, it could be somewhat unexpected. They'll see his economy was low. Will they anticipate it upstairs in heaven? This is a danger up against any buy, and they're on their way straight into Karen's waiting arms. If he wins this at first already, that's another nail in Sentinel's coffin, and he's back. He's just creating some space and not getting out alive. In fact, sticking around for another fight, but Tens doubles up.
That's a big double kill. They've still got to deal with Munchkin though. Might not be expecting a third player within this site. Poison orb up. He's going to be able to isolate the spike. Already dropped to the ground. Good trade though from JongQT again. Bringing things back into an even scenario. The clock not so low this time, but Lakia already making a switch up. He's going to play into the orb, has a flash ready to go straight out of it. It is being watched over, and he drops one and gets both! Lakia steps up, puts the 12th round onto the board for Gen.G. Every decision, every battle just seems to be correct for this squad. And I can't believe what I'm seeing. A 7-round deficit for Sentinels on their best map, the map they chose, and a map that I'll be honest, we did not see Gen.G competing in.
I was already looking at Lotus once I saw the veto come up, and no team's been able to shine a light on Sentinels here on Split. A close game is the best you could expect. A dominant victory though? Gen.G, they really are changing the game. Round 18 could be the last with an early fight up top. Done a little bit of damage, but not too much. Sentinels not deterred from their aggression. Another player on site now. 4 players from Gen.G here ready to fight. Meteor the first to take it, and he won't stop. 3 kills already. It's left it all to Sassy, and it's done just like that. 13-5. You might have expected to see this scoreline, but not in the hands of Gen.G. A devastating start to this series for Sentinels. I can't imagine what the locker room chat's going to be like ahead of Lotus.
This now puts it down to 1 map to Gen.G, matching the best ever Pacific performance at an international event. This team last year didn't really do too much, but they have come out swinging. We'll be back after the break to see if they can do it in 2.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.